Hello,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm good.
How was Did you do anything?
I didn't do much. I just mostly stayed home.
Ah,
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I worked,
Mhm.
and that was it. I don't know if we've met, but I'm Sam. I'm not sure if we've met.
I attended one of your events.
You
Yeah.
did. Hi, I
Hi.
remember. Hi. So, I know you wanted to meet today to go over a few things. One second. So, we're coming to the end of the semester.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
With my classes, I'm okay because I'm delayed in most of my assignments. Like they're getting, they're late. I didn't
Okay.
do them and try to turn them in.
Okay. Why are you struggling right now with handing in your assignments? What's going on?
Because I was so called right now I'm working at the daycare and also have I have 2 days for school and 3 days for the daycare right now. So I think
Okay.
it's really that I don't have enough time to do my assignments also. Yeah.
So you said 3 days for daycare, 2 days for school?
Yeah. I think I for next semester when I didn't register for my classes yet because the classes right now I'm struggling with it. It might affect my FAFSA.
Okay. When do you think you can register for classes? Because my concern is that those classes don't get full.
Yeah. right now I just need to turn in like for the right now I'm taking two TESOL classes, the teaching English as a second language class.
Yeah.
Uh the one might need to retake one of them that I'm having trouble with the papers. This one don't have to
Okay.
do final. It's mostly the papers that's like affecting the grades. I did the yeah.
Can you explain to me a little bit what's causing you to like what's giving you trouble from the papers? Is it the instructions? Is it the material? Is it that you don't have time to read? What do you think is going on with your papers?
For the papers, it's because this when I took his class for other of other ones of his class, this
Yeah.
professor he gave examples. So like the examples help me with doing the assignment. But and I didn't so called the first assignment for this class, this TESOL 343. I didn't go see him when I was struggling with it, and so like yeah, he offers office hours, but I didn't go because I was busy with other stuff, so I didn't get to go meet him. I met him like toward like drop date. That's like when he gave me a extension for the project, but I missed those deadlines also
You missed the deadline for the extension too,
for two of them. Yeah.
for two of them. And this is what class? Because I saw you sent me two syllabus right now, right?
The 343, the armor one.
Uh, it's Introduction to Language Assessment.
Yeah,
That's the
that
class.
one.
Okay. So let me go through it real quick.
Yes.
So from this syllabus, 343 only, what have you, I guess, what do you need to do before now for final?
For this class, the paper, I missed for the part three. I turned it in like this past early Tuesday morning, like 5-ish, 6-ish in the morning. And the part four of it, I was doing it and I was meeting with a tutor that day on Tuesday, but I didn't finish it. He still graded it, but I can't for that one. We still gonna have the option to have for part five have the self review of the paper and a peer review. Since it was late, so now I have to only do my my self review. I can't do my classmates' paper to review like rate it. Yeah,
Okay, one second. On your syllabus, I don't see where it says part two, part three, part four.
it is
So I'm not
that's
sure.
the term paper.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
where is it? Let me see. So I'm just looking at your syllabus right now. Um, this one. Let me see. Where does it say that your term paper is due? Oh, okay, there we go. So for 11/20, it says term project part 4. You didn't finish it that day.
Yeah, he for that week I have like sent him, I think in the mid of that week. I was for that week, for the 20th that week, on the let's see, it was that week, early that week, the 13th, part 3 was due. He extended for me. That part 3 was supposed to do the week before on November 6th, but he gave me extension when I went to see him in October. He gave me extension for it to be due on the 13th. But I haven't. I did see Melissa, the trio tutor for the paper, but I was still working on part 2 that time, so I didn't start really on part 3 yet. So when during that week of the 13th to 19th, I was on part 3. The week of election week, I have went to see him on Zoom on the 10th to talk about part 3. And I was planning to see him on the next day, but on the 10th, I didn't get to type up part 3 yet. So I didn't see him the next day. So yeah.
Did you already hand in part 3?
Part 3, I turned it in with yesterday early, 5-6 in the morning, with a little bit of part 4. Yeah, yesterday.
So okay. So the next step is that it says here that you have until next week to hand in part 5.
Yeah, the 4th. Yeah.
The 4th, but then part 5, term project part 5 self and peer reviews are due by December 4th.
Yeah, this coming Sunday.
Which is this coming Sunday. Yeah. So how are you doing on that?
That one, I so close need to finish part 4, but I will see him today after you at 4:30 to like kind of like go over what I would really, because he for this week the reading is to like, so that chapter is about grading ourselves, or like just like how the different kind of ways to grade a paper, or grade a paper. And today I'm gonna see him and see what I would need to do to so-called do the self-evaluation of my paper today.
Okay, and do you think you will be able to complete part 4 and 5 and hand them in by Sunday?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, what would hinder that? What would stop you from completing that? What could get in the way from now till Sunday that you feel like you may not be able to finish it?
I think it's really just distractions and not enough time. Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, what time do you get home today?
Today, I'm not. I I like requested today off from my working at the daycare because my 2 younger brothers are sick. They're home with me, so I'm at home today.
Okay, and do you have breaks in between taking care of your brothers?
Sometimes yes.
Okay, and if not today, tomorrow is Thursday.
Yes.
What are you gonna be doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm planning to see my professor early in the morning to talk about the paper. Yeah.
Which professor? This one?
Yeah, this one. This Armor.
And then who are you meeting with today at 4?
Him, Armor.
Okay, so you're meeting with him today and tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna meet him tomorrow early in the morning?
Yes.
And then what are you gonna do afterwards?
I have a tutoring session with the library at 3 tomorrow on Google Meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so what time is your meeting with the professor in the morning tomorrow?
I plan to see him like at 11.
11, that's gonna take maybe an hour, and then you'll have a break until 3 where you have your tutoring, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And afterwards, would you have time to work on your paper or no?
I think so, yeah.
Does it help you to, like, what is the issue? Is that you at home you can't concentrate? Would it work for you maybe to come to campus to do your papers in the library instead of staying at home?
Um, is for me, like when I'm doing the paper, I'm most likely doing it when everybody in the house is sleeping. So like past midnight, that's when I really would start doing my assignment.
Okay. Is there any way that you could that it would help you to do it in the library so you guys have time for yourself?
Yeah, I think so. If I come to the school library to do it, yeah,
That's what I mean because at home it's really hard to like be responsible at home because it happens to me too
yeah.
because you're in your house
Mm-hmm.
so that you feel like you can kind of like do anything all the time. Oh, let me turn on the TV. Oh, let me get on the computer. Let me watch a video. Or let me go to the kitchen. Let me get something to eat. Or let me go to the bathroom. Let me go clean. And then it's really easy to get distracted when you're at home. When you're in a public space like at the library, it's just harder to get distracted because you have people around you and it's not
Yeah.
your space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that would depend on you coming here, setting aside like 2 hours, 3 hours to, because in 3 hours, if you wanted to, you could do research plus you could pump out a bunch of pages. How long is this term project?
The term project, it really depends on ourselves really, like because it needs to have like our self-made rubrics and checklists to we're like so called for part four is the we're creating our own rubric checklist and stuff for the assignment because it's a so-called the paper is an assessment. We're assessing a child that's learning English. Yeah.
So how long do you have a kind of like how long is it right now? You're on the fourth you're on the fourth part, kind of halfway through the fourth part. How
Like
do you think?
right now it's almost like I think it's on page 15 or something, like those pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what other material do you have to add for like part five?
Part five is so called we have to grade the paper ourselves. That's what we're
Okay.
doing. Since I'm not finished with it, I just need to finish it and then I can start the grading of it myself. Yeah. For this part five, I just can't do the classmate review, so I will not have that 10 points for that. So
Okay.
I think it will really affect me, and I might either retake this class next spring.
Um, why wouldn't you be able to do the classmates assessment? If you finish it on time, would you be able to do the classmate assessment?
Because yesterday when I turned in that little bit of part four and part three that was like so called like many days late, he said I can't do part five because I turned in part four late.
Okay, yeah. But if you do finish part four and you finish it soon, I mean, you're still gonna hand it in on Sunday, or you're gonna try to do part four before.
So called yesterday I went and had met with Melissa with the tutor to help with my part four. I just need to add part four and then start the grading part. And then
Okay.
that part would be also a few more pages to the paper.
And if I were to ask you realistically, how many hours would it take for you to finish part four and do part five? How many hours do you think that would take you?
Of many hours. Like, because like when I was doing the part three, I think it took me like a 1 to 3 hours.
1 to 3 hours,
Yeah.
part three, right? And that was without stopping 1 to 3 hours or with
I think I had the mini break. Like I want like because yeah, I had a mini break in between that time when I was typing the paper.
so do you think if you were given 5 hours you could finish part four and five?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Um so now it's just structuring your time,
Yeah.
assuming that you have 5 hours. My question to you is why do you think you're not able to maybe separate 2 hours today, 3 hours tomorrow, and finish it before Sunday?
Because like after when I after those meetings, most of the time I would like be distracted, don't want to go back to doing the paper. That time. Yeah.
Okay. What usually gets you the most distracted? What's like, tell me the truth. Like, what distracts you the most?
It's most like easily mostly technology, and then like after these meetings, I would be it would be time for dinner because dinner is like 6 or 7 at night for me. So yeah, it would be like time to eat and then take shower and do homework or whatever. No, yeah.
Okay.
And then so after like when everyone's finished with dinner, I have to wash the dishes and then do my own stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Tomorrow you have your first meeting at 11, right, with the professor?
Yeah.
In person or online?
I'm gonna come to campus tomorrow.
Okay, so is there any way that on campus tomorrow after 11, after like noon when you're done with the professor, you could maybe sit in an area or in the library until your meeting at 3, work on the paper, and after because you can do your meeting in here with the internet.
Yeah.
And then after you're done, maybe stay another 2 hours to work on the paper and try not to get distracted. You think try to do that tomorrow or no?
I think so, yeah. I'll just try to stay on campus tomorrow maybe. And then don't come home and just do the assignment there. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a start. It's not easy. It's not always perfect. But it's kind of also like about holding yourself accountable. So like if you see that you're getting distracted, you have to be able to prioritize the paper.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to say, oh, wait, I've been watching videos now for 30 minutes instead of like doing something else. Uh, Something you can do is let me get up, let me walk a little bit, let me drink some water, let me sit back down, and let me get back to work. Because usually what you need to do is refocus yourself.
Mhm.
You, Sometimes sitting for a long period of time doesn't, it like helps you get distracted if you just sit down for a lot of time.
Mhm.
So if you feel like you're sitting down, you're getting tired, getting bored, stand up, go to the bathroom, especially here in the library, stand up, walk around the library if you have to. I've done it before. Go drink some water, maybe come back and then sit down and get it started all over again.
Mhm.
It's not easy though, but
Yeah.
I would like for you to be able to finish the semester strong.
Yeah.
Like at the end is not when you slow down. At the end is when you speed it up and get it done as
Yeah.
soon as possible. Um, and you should look into registering for classes pretty soon because I don't know how much time you have to register.
Because the ones that I registered for this semester, I needed the professor, the one I'm seeing later today. He's the one in charge of the minor one. So
Yeah.
he will like he's the one that will help be like because when I try to click on the ones I want to register for next spring, it said I need a person to authorize it, which is him. So I can't register for those classes.
Okay. Um. So he would have to say it one more time. He has to like let you register for those classes.
Yeah, like I have to give him the course number and the course, those course stuff that he needs to help me to let me in to register.
Okay, but that's just send. You can send that in an email.
Yeah.
And so all you have to do you already know like what class you want to take next semester?
There's another three TESOL class. It's a TESOL class. It's
Okay.
the 340 TESOL.
Okay. One class. How many classes are you taking next semester?
Because I know for my FAFSA is like allow me to like be full time, but right now I might need to retake some more TESOL classes. I'm not sure, but that one for sure, that TESOL 340 was for sure. But these other two this semester, I'm not sure if I need to retake them.
So would you be able to tomorrow when you meet? No, today.
Yeah.
When you meet with your professor today, ask him if you're able to complete your assignment before or by Sunday, if you can pass that class.
Because um I think it was either yesterday or sometime last week. He said because my part 3 was late, he said I would most likely be a D or something. But since part 4 is late, and then he gave me a bad grade on it, like a 0 or something, out of like how much, um, it might really affect my grade.
So, but you're meeting with him today, right?
Yeah.
So I need you to be very honest with him and say, look, I'm working on my final paper. I'm working on part five. Um, I know that it's been like a hard semester. So ask him if I were to finish my part five, my part four and five before Sunday and hand it in, do I have an opportunity to at least pass with a C? Or would I have to retake the class? And then ask him sincerely, because if you have to retake the class, then that way you can start registering for class.
Yeah, and he's the one that's gonna be teaching this class again next spring too.
So yeah, so ask him so that you can register, because it's getting pretty late for registration.
Yeah.
So I would recommend if he does say, and the other class, you feel like you may be failing that one class too?
Yeah, because for I have to do the journals. That's like that class term project. I I I I only so did the first one. I didn't do B to H. I need to catch up on that. Too.
Okay, it says you have until December. If I'm not mistaken, this may be wrong, but I feel like it's December 15th to register for classes. So you would have only a week or two to register for classes. I recommend the sooner the better,
Mhm.
because then the classes that you may want may be closed already. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I see that those TESOL classes that I'm planning to
They're full?
register, they're not full. They're like very low enrollment. So like they might be canceled. That's what most of those TESOL classes is happening. They might be canceled because not enough students in the class.
But make sure you register on time,
Yeah.
because if you don't register on time, your financial aid doesn't activate, right?
Mhm.
So if any chance you're late and you're not registered, your financial aid reads it like you're not in school.
Mhm.
So just even if you have 2 weeks, do you think you would be able to separate sometime right after? So finals is December 5th, right?
Yeah.
Do you think before December 10th you can register for that?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, at that point, you should know the results for your classes. You should know your grade already, and be able to register for your classes so that you're not late. Okay.
Yeah. For the classes, the grades for me when I get the grades is like the week after school ends, either on a Tuesday or a Monday for those classes. Of
So yeah,
the
so
week
you
after
class
school.
ends, I believe, next Monday.
Mhm.
I think it's the last, kind of like technically the last day of school, which is December 5th, and then you would have until maybe the Monday or Tuesday on top of that to try to. Monday, and then yeah, I would prefer for you before the Friday after class
Mhm.
to already be registered for classes. So classes on the 5th, before the 16th, try to register for classes.
Okay.
Because I think it officially closes on the 18th on the Sunday, but I'm not sure. And I would rather do it during weekdays so
Mhm.
that if anything happens, it's not a weekend and you can't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So just before the 16th, I'll be checking in with you. I'll send you messages. I'll just bother you. You don't have to. If you can respond, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But I'll still send you messages like, yo, register for classes. And then just today, check in with your professor to see if, like, if he sees any opportunity for you to be able to practice class, even if it's with the student,
Yeah.
just to see if it's possible. Now, tell me about TESOL 341. What's going on?
For the 41, I've been last week's the offline like asynchronized assignment. I did it yesterday. I just didn't do one more response to a classmate for that one
Okay.
for the assignment last week.
Okay.
And for that one, I'm delayed with the journals, learning language. Those journals, B to H. I need to do those too.
That's for 341.
Yeah. And the her final for that class is due on the 6th of December.
Okay.
Yeah. 11:59.
6th of December, right?
Yeah.
That's nice too. Okay. Also, just in case, would you be able to ask your professors if they're willing to give you an incomplete so that you can finish it during winter break before spring starts?
What does the incomplete mean?
So an incomplete means that you don't get a failed course, right? So it'll just come up in your transcript, not on your transcript, in your grade, it'll come up as like, oh, you haven't completed everything, but you haven't failed either. So they'll usually, an incomplete means that they'll be like, okay, well, you and I both agree that you haven't finished everything, so I'm going to give you some extra time. So they'll put in the grades by December 5th, whatever, when they're done. And then they'll give you through the winter break before spring to submit the papers that are due. Now, if you don't submit them, they'll fail you. If you do submit them, they'll count it as your grade. So an incomplete just gives you extra time to just say, hey, literally, you haven't completed what's required for this course, but you have until this day to submit it after classes are done.
Okay.
So it just gives you an extra time to work on your, like, not work on it, but like worst case scenario where you feel like you can't finish, ask them if, like, for example, for your journals and everything else, if you feel like you're not going to complete it by next Monday, see if they're willing to give you an incomplete so that you can work on all those journals through winter break. And that means that you'll probably be submitting papers through December.
Okay.
Okay. If
Good.
you don't want an incomplete, then you would have to finish everything before next Tuesday.
Okay.
So let me see. 341. So yeah, just ask your professor about if there's if you can pass if you hand in the paper on Sunday.
Yeah.
2, if you can't pass, like if there are any options to put incomplete and hand it in later, or if you just have to retake the class.
Okay.
So one of those 3 questions. Can I get an incomplete? Can I pass the class? And if I can't get an incomplete and I can't pass the class, do I have to retake it so I can, start registering for class?
Yeah. Okay.
And same for 341. Do you ever meet with the professor for 341?
For that one, she did contact me a few times through email, and about the assignment, those journals. But and then because she did offer to see me in her office hours, but I didn't get to attend her. Yeah.
Okay. Are you interested in meeting with her?
Yes, I am, and I think I would need to pass her class also. Yeah.
So why don't you send her an email?
Yeah, I did send her an email because I know she also offer office hours at other times, but like her office hours is like only like one day per week. But she does offer, like, if you send her email, she can accommodate to you whatever time you can see her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It says office hours Thursdays from 1:30 to 3.
Yeah.
Or by appointment in person at Lakewood Hall or via Zoom or phone.
Yeah.
Let me see. So you should definitely be sending her an email.
Yes.
And contacting her today. Because why? Because classes end next week.
Yes, I know.
If you want, you can do that while we're in the meeting. If you want to open a tab and start sending her the email, just do that. Make it short and brief. Hi, Professor. This is Mandy. Sorry that I haven't reached out sooner. I wanted to check in with you about class and to see if you have any availability. Maybe she can see you tomorrow before your 3 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she has Thursdays, 1:30 to 3. Maybe she can see you at 1:30.
Today for this week, her office hours was today, so she's not available tomorrow.
She's not, but her syllabus says Thursdays.
Because on the Bright Space for this week, she says she's not available this week for that Thursday.
Ah, okay. But it says or by appointment, so you can still or via in person or by appointment, you can still email her to set up an appointment.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, and see. Please do that today because it's
Yes.
Wednesday. She's not gonna be available Thursday. That means the only
Yes.
day you have available is Friday
Yes.
or Monday.
Mhm.
And then Monday is already the 5th, and technically the 5th is the last day of class.
Yes.
So send it today.
Yes.
Make it one sentence. I don't care how brief it is. You don't have to be super professional. Just make sure you send it out. Let me see. And you said that what you need to do for her class is the journals.
Yeah, for her like her term paper stuff and a final. I need to do her final.
Okay, let me see.
Yes.
Okay, so I see. Oh my God, sorry. November 15th, November 22nd, November 29th. Okay. Okay, yeah. Finals, final exam. Does an exam or do you have a paper?
For her, the final is like we so-called answer questions and write is a paper-ish to answer the
Okay.
questions, and then it's open book and it's a take-home exam.
Okay. Do you feel confident about that?
Right now, not really, because she does offer like those help too for this final too. She did it for the midterm too, but I didn't really know.
Okay. Mandy, you have to use the resources that professors give you in order to
Yes.
make it.
Yes. I need to.
I'm not like being mean to you or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like you have to, if they're offering it, you need to take it so that you can do better.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like you're burning out and you can't manage your time appropriately,
Yeah.
you're gonna fail out of school, and you paid too much money to be failing out of school.
Yeah.
And also you I feel like you're a role model for your little brothers, like your siblings. And they do look up to you. So I want you to be able to do things not only for yourself but for the people that care about you too. You know, I want them to look to you and be like, oh, I want to be like big sis. Let me see. I can't see it. So I see that there's also like quizzes for 341.
Yes.
Have you done all those quizzes?
The quizzes, I am finished with the quizzes.
Okay.
I just need to so-called do one more response to a classmate for the discussion board for last week. I was late on that one. I so-called did that discussion board yesterday night with one response to a classmate. I just need to do that's the assignment for last week, the offline for the Thursday to Sunday or not to Monday, the turn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I need to do for that. And then so-called for this week's the offline assignment is the those surveys, which I did for her. I didn't send that to her.
So the only thing you have left are the journals, which is I see that there's a final journal, which was on the week of elections.
Yes.
Did you do that?
I didn't get to because that week for me I was just like I wasn't really doing anything that week. I was kind of like just relaxing because there wasn't really school that week, so I was just taking a break from school as a whole that whole week.
Okay. So how many journals do you have to do? All of them?
So it's 7. I need to do 7 because they're so-called A to H. I did only letter A. I need to do B to H. So 7.
Okay. Because I see on the syllabus it says it differently. It says first journal, second journal, third. It says it by number. Third journal, fourth journal.
The second to the last one I need to do.
So second journal to the final one.
Yes, which is 7 journals. There's so-called 8 journals.
And what is the content of these journals? Like, what do you have to add?
For these journals, really, is so-called you need to so-called learn a language, which I chose Mandarin Chinese to learn the language, and then put in the resources of like so-called the resources, and then what we so-called learned that week, and then make a connection under. There's a chart which is like of like what we that part I think I struggle with most. And then there's for the last part of it, the paper is a connection to the a chapter in the book or like to the topic of the week that week.
Okay. So what for these journals? They're usually what 1 to 2 pages, right?
Yeah, they're short. They're pretty short, 1 to 2. Yeah.
They're short. How long do you think it'll take for you to do these?
Like when I did the first one, I think 1 to 2 hours for that.
For one journal?
Yeah.
So each journal is gonna take you maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need like at least a day or two to get through these journals.
Yes.
So this is why you should definitely meet with your professor just to see, because maybe she'll tell you like, hey, you still need to give me the final for December 6th, but I'll give you an incomplete so you can give me the journals until Christmas. You know?
Mhm.
So you have to ask her, you have to meet with them. So the more contacts that you have with your professors, the more willing they are to help you. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So if you don't like respond to them, they'll be a little bit harsher, they're a little harder. But if you talk to them more, they tend to like give you breaks.
Mhm.
So just reach out to her. I know I've said it like 15,000
Yeah.
times. Just reach out to her today, because you never know, like if she's able to give you an opportunity. Maybe she'll say no,
Mhm.
but maybe she'll say yes too, and then you don't have to be taking classes again.
Yes, because for this one, her TESOL 341, I'm so-called retaking it because last fall I didn't pass it when I was taking 2 classes last year, in 2021. I was taking 2 classes. One was a so-called a gym class and the TESOL class. I passed the gym class, which was a meditation class, and that was online, fully online, but she offered one day to like do a Zoom meeting to do meditation. Yeah. And the other one, the TESOL 341 last year was online,
Okay.
remote. It was remote. So we met twice per week. And then she did have like the one week offline, totally just do assignment and then come back Zoom and then come back Zoom, that kind of schedule. But I was on the assignment, I was late on that. So that's why I didn't pass her class last fall.
Okay. So this is the second time you're taking this course, and if you have to retake it, it would be the third, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you would definitely have to check in with them, because I don't know how many times you can retake a course. I don't know if there's a I'm not well versed in that, but there has to be a maximum time that you can try to take a course before they don't let you do it. So yeah, just check in with her, see what she's willing to do.
Mhm.
Check in with him tomorrow.
Mhm.
Remember to ask him. Are you gonna remember the questions that you're gonna ask him?
Can you send it in the email, like notes?
Yes, yes. I can just feel like you're gonna ask if you can get it complete. If you have to retake the course, um, what grade do you think you have right now in 341?
Mm, I'm not sure. Maybe because I do her quizzes and the like her grades is like for in person. That's a grade too, and then there's this discussion boards and those offline assignments with the discussion boards. Maybe a C or D.
For 341.
Yes, I think around the same grade for both class. Maybe C or D.
Okay. We need to try to make it a C, just so you can pass it. Also ask if they're willing. Now this is gonna be hard on you,
Yeah.
because that means you should be really responsible. But you can also ask if they're willing to give you additional assignments or to redo assignments to have an opportunity to raise your grade.
Mhm.
But that's all on you. It's about negotiating, right?
Yes.
If you again communication, if you talk to them, sometimes they're willing to do this. They don't do this all the time, but once in a while, if you do the right thing, they give you opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, that's what.
Now,
Yes.
uh-huh.
That's what happened for the part 2. I turned it in late and it was not really good. Like when I met with him, he gave me a second chance on that part two of the term paper.
Okay. So for him, also make sure you don't miss any of the two appointments.
Yes.
Don't miss today, don't miss tomorrow either,
Yes.
okay? Just because it's important at the last semester, at the very least,
Mm-hmm.
on the end of the semester, sorry, to, try
Yes.
to give your best shot at the
Yeah.
end. Just so I can see that you're trying.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you can get to talk to this professor, the Jill, the 341 one,
Yes.
before the semester ends to see if you have an opportunity. So yeah, ask them if you can redo assignments, or ask them if they have extra assignments that you can do. But that would mean that you would have a really short time
Yes.
to get them done,
Mm-hmm.
and that you would have to really commit. Like if you make a promise that you're gonna do an assignment at a certain time, you need to keep that promise
Yeah.
too. Um, yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough
Yes.
last week, but if you push, I think you can really do it. I think you can really do it. You're really intelligent. You have a lot of promise. I think you I think you can do a lot. You just have to be willing to put in the time. That's all.
Yes.
I know it's tiring, and I know a lot of the time it's boring too. Like you just don't have the motivation. But what's your major, Mandy?
Right now I didn't declare the major. I only declare my minor, which is the TESOL one. Um, so right now the major is undeclared, but planning to do the early childhood, which I need to do with the stuff needed to do that. And so far, got my transcript from Truman like a few weeks ago with parchment. I paid for it and it got sent to Northeastern, but I didn't check if it's in the system yet. But they said they got it.
So, but what is your passion? What do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Really, in life, I'm kind of unclear.
You're
Yeah.
unclear of
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, don't feel bad. It's normal. A lot of us didn't know for a long time what we wanted to do, but you also have to figure that out, because that's
Yeah.
probably why you're not into school right now. That's
Yeah.
why you're probably not putting in your best effort, because I don't think you found that one thing you really want to do. You have to find what you're passionate about, because then it doesn't make sense that you're putting in all this time studying um, when you don't know what you're going to be doing, or you don't know what your passion is.
Yeah.
So if you want to do early childhood education, make sure that you really are passionate about teaching young children, to helping them, to um, going through all the trouble that it means to be a teacher. Um, so just find what you feel is your calling, no matter if it has nothing to do with what you're studying right now. I just want you to look into what you're really passionate about. Doesn't matter if it's something completely different. If you can tell me that you're passionate about composing music, I don't care if it's different than what you do, but you need to find what you can do. I always say, what would you do for the rest of your life and not get paid for it? What would you do?
Mm, Mostly like artsy stuff, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you like the arts?
Yeah. But I'm not very good at it. That's why.
Okay, is there something you think you're really good at, like something that you feel is a character strength of yours? When you look at yourself and you consider yourself, right? What do you think is one of the strongest personality traits or characteristics that you have, that you feel like you're better than everybody else on this?
Mm, hmm. I think it would really be like my kind of like my listening skills. When like people,
Listening?
yeah, when people talk to me, I would really listen to them.
Okay. And when you listen, well, do you judge them when you listen, or you don't judge them when you listen?
I think I'm half with judging them when I listen. Yeah.
Okay. And do you like listening to people? Because you can be a good listener, but you may not like listening.
I think for that one I am 50-50. I do like listening to them because like of their stories and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you think you can apply listening, being a good listener to school
Mm,
or to your future, right?
yeah.
To a job. Because see, being a teacher, you have to be a good speaker.
Yeah. For that, when I'm at the daycare, I don't really like to speak at all to either the teachers or like no or they most of the time tell me to sing because the communication is key for the kids to start learning how to speak and stuff and get the knowledge of learning. And yeah, when because the toddlers that I'm teaching right now, they're not very good. Their attention span is not very much. It's not. It was not the earlier bunch. They were better. This later bunch is not that good with the listening, paying
Do you like
attention.
working with little kids?
For like compared to these toddlers, I like the 2-year-old toddlers more than the ones I have right now because when I was in the 2-year-old, I liked it because they really listen kind of better than the ones I
Yeah.
have right now. Yeah.
Okay. Um, have you ever thought about working with older people? Why
When
do I ask? Because older people like to tell a lot of stories, and older people like to talk to people to get help, right?
yeah.
A lot of older people are forgotten, they're in senior homes, things like that. And they need somebody to listen to them, counsel them, to help them.
Yeah, I like when I was at Truman College, I was when I did work study, I was like the receptionist and I was most at the touring centers, like the math and the adult advancement center at the Truman.
Hmm.
And I also worked in their office doing paperwork. Yeah. And I did
Okay.
help them so-called some of the adult student register for some classes too.
Okay. Just think about it.
Yes.
I'm not telling you to tell me anything now.
Yeah.
Just think about it because I thought, right? I
Mhm.
thought all my life that I wanted to be a psychologist.
Mhm.
I thought that I wanted to because I like to listen to
Mhm.
people too. Um, and then I realized that I went into my master's for psychology,
Mhm.
and I realized that I didn't like the way they made me listen to people, right? So I
Mhm.
didn't like that I could only listen to people. I wanted to listen to people and help them.
Mhm.
I wanted to be involved in their lives and guide them to do something better, right?
Mhm.
So I realized that psychology wasn't for me. Why? Because I was listening to people, but I couldn't be involved in their lives. And that's what I wanted to do. I
Mhm.
wanted to be in people's lives to help them get better, right?
Mhm.
So I realized that my passion wasn't really listening. My passion was helping people be better.
Mhm.
And after I realized that I wanted to help people be better, I asked myself, how do I want
Mhm.
to help those people? Do I want to help them medically? Do I want to be a nurse? No. Do I want to be a doctor? No. I don't want to be a psychologist. I don't want to give them medication. That's not what I want.
Mhm.
I want to I want to help them with the things that everybody else ignores, right?
Mhm.
So I realized that the way in to do that was through social work. That's for
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
So through social work, I learned. So social work tells you that you need to be involved in the person's life, in their community. You you make sure that if anything's happening in their neighborhood, in their lives, you are the voice for those people to speak up for them.
Mhm.
Uh, to like and to help them. You go visit them at home. You go visit them at jail. Like I am present in every aspect of these people's life, and
Mhm.
that's how I figured out what I'm passionate about. I was passionate in helping people from close up, not from far away.
Mhm.
So I want you to think about that because um, you have to figure out what you really want to do. What do you like doing with human beings? Because you have to
Mhm.
remember that you're working with other human beings.
Yes.
So, so if you really do not like listening to kids, if you don't like working with kids, if you don't like working with adults, just figure out what would you like to do,
Mhm.
even if it's different than what you're studying right now. I would just
Mhm.
like to know what you're passionate about. Okay.
Mhm.
At least for the next time we meet, I just want you to, or I hear from you. I just want to see, just in general, if you came up with something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I will let you go because I know you're gonna have a meeting now, right?
It's at 4:30.
So you get a little 30 minute in between. Do you think you can I definitely check in with you to make sure that you're doing okay during the week and that you sent out your emails and you checked in with your professors? Can you let me know?
Yeah.
Even if it's just an email like, hey Sam, just let me know, or through my chat. Do you
Mhm.
know how to send a chat through email, through the email?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And I'll send you the little questions, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you too. Have a good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Bye.